Hi y'all, it's your friend Saya here on day 12 of our 3D Robot Junkyard build. And here we have our junkyard so far that we've put together. And if you remember a few episodes back, I took it outside and gave it a good spray painting, so it's got this nice flat black. But I left some of the rusty parts rusty, so that's we're gonna work with that in our color scheme here. And this is the front, what you're looking at here, and this is the back. And I've got you over here in the corner now, and I'm going to be working over here, so hopefully my hands don't get in the way so much, and hopefully the camera won't keep refocusing because I won't be in and out of the view. So what we're going to do is we're going to start adding pieces, and you know, we've got pieces loosely put in here and there that we can move around and wiggle as we put things in. So nothing's really here permanently. I've pushed some things in, and you know, I've left some wiggle room for us to play with as we move things and put things around. So the scheme that I'm thinking of is bright pink and with some bits of blue, and I'm also thinking some white. We'll paint some white things in here, and we want it to look really old and grungy, so brown's obviously going to be a part of the color scheme. And maybe we'll even get into some purples as we blend the two hues together, which I always love to do in my robot junkyards. So I guess right now I'm just going to say follow along with me as I work, and we'll just I'll take breaks now and then, and I'll explain what I'm doing. Otherwise I'll just kind of be quiet and you can watch me work. Please pay no mind to the background. It's a mess in here as I pull things in and out of storage to use in the junkyard. So you may remember that we have some rather largish pieces that we need to put into the junkyard in a prominent area, because we want these to stand out. And I'm really kind of thinking about putting on a arm I have yet to give a final coat of paint to. So we want the arm to go like this. So this robot needs to be someplace where his arm can rest and be in a prominent place. I don't know about there. What about over here? Maybe something like this. But if this is the front, maybe we want to give him a little bit better of an area to stick out in. Well, remember we wanted our main focal piece to go right here, kind of draped there, and I don't think this is the focal piece. I think we're going to be working on another thing. So let's be strategic about this. You know, I think maybe that one side might be the best place for it. I think I like that. I can work with that. Alright, let's get them glued in. So we've got him glued in there. I think he's good for now. And I'll get his arm painted, and then we'll attach his arm with some glue. I've got these blue wires. Well, this one's black, but it has a cute little button on the end of it. Can you see that? So we'll be putting that in there somewhere, and these blue wires. That might work out nice for something. and I've taken some time to glue some items in here and there, and as you can see, we're starting to get some pops of color. And I'll be continuing to place some items and paint some items, and we'll build up with some cardboard, and that's going to be next. We'll build up, we'll get some cardboard wet, and we'll make it look like some junk has kind of like built up in the cracks and crevices for a while. And then we'll, over the weeks to come, continue to build some pieces and make some pieces to finalize the top, and hopefully finish that focal point robot that I've been talking about but haven't been working much on. So stay tuned, there's more to come. Now we've got some water here, and I've got these little pieces of cardboard. If you remember, we were talking about these earlier. I'm just gonna kind of tear them apart, and we'll remold them into pieces that go into our junkyard here. I'm just gonna let them soak a little bit and get nice and malleable. Maybe we'll leave some funky little bits and pieces. So this is just some trash that was gonna go to the fire pit because it's plain old cardboard paper and it's burnable. But I salvaged it. I thought, well, why not try to use it in the junkyard somehow. So here's a piece. It's nice and wet. While it's nice and wet there, we'll just put it in here like it's kind of piled up. Just mold this in there, we'll paint it later. Most of the things that I've saved for the junkyard are things that would have gone into the trash, and then those things, as you know, wind up in the ocean or in a landfill somewhere, and we don't want that. I don't want that, and there's not much I can do about it, but on a small scale, I can try to reuse some of the things I have. And I like to find creative ways to use things. This will go good right here. I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying to make some dirt and some things that are just kind of hanging out there. We can paint it later, as I was saying. Some of the things in this junkyard are things that Michael and I have pulled out of the fire pit. We've been digging out a fire pit that has been used for a long time as a fire pit, and we want to use it to have campfires and that kind of thing, so we've been pulling out all the junk and the trash. There's been lots of it. Lots of interesting bits and pieces too. Somebody threw a mattress down there and we got a bunch of springs for the junkyard out of it. I'll show you some of those later. So my intention is to have this kind of be like a paper mache, and we can kind of go over it with some glue later. But for now I just want to form it and we'll let it dry. But I want it to look as though this heap has been around for a long time and things have collected. Trash and dirt, papers, bags, all kinds of stuff. Gets in the nooks and crannies of things. Sometimes the water drips down through it, creates little funnels, mountains, and that looks nice. Well, I'm going to be doing this all around until I run out. And I also have aluminum foil, and I have some plastic and all kinds of things that we can put in. I've been looking forward to getting to this point because it's really just making a mess and getting in the nooks and crannies and really building. We've got a foundation, and now we're adding to that foundation and we're making it look like a realistic junkyard. Things would have definitely gathered there. Just make a little heap. And we'll glue it in later once it dries into the shape we want. Glue it and paint it. Look at this, has a nice little dangly. Let's put this here. I think this needs a little bit more of a organic shape. Put that there. You know, I'm pretty organized at work, and I have to make a lot of things happen in an organized fashion, in a scheduled way. And sometimes it's nice to just relax and move at my own pace. Just kind of make a mess and not worry about anything really, except for how I want it to look and nothing else. And that sometimes feels good, just to make a mess. Okay, well, we're down to just having a little bit of mush now. And I'm going to place this mush. Then I'm going to clean up the watery mess that I made. And we're going to let this dry overnight. And I'll come back tomorrow with some glue here and there. But it might dry just the way we want it. And we'll be able to paint it. And of course, painting it will help it stick too. And we'll give some shape to some things here and there to make them look a little bit more like they're a little organic and flowing. And maybe we'll add even just a little bit more, because I've got this whole tray right here. This whole tray right here that I can tear apart. And we've got more things like this laying around. I can find those. So stay tuned, because there's way more to come. And I've also got some more sculpting to do and lots of painting, and there's just days and days left of work. So I can't wait to see you again. Bye for now.